And welcome to the Rescue Rundown. I believe it's episode 13. Dave Morris here in the Oklahomans video studio alongside Abby Wolf from the Central Oklahoma Humane Society. Abby, happy pre-Thanksgiving.
Yay, we made it to Thanksgiving.
We made it to Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And this is going to be a great show. We've got a lot of good things to tell you about this dog, the DNA test, and things not to feed your animals from the Thanksgiving dinner table, dogs and cats. But let's back up just a second on this Thanksgiving Eve. Abby, tell me about your day. How's it gone so far?
My day, you know.
What's a day in the life of your day?
I got peed on this morning. I chased a dog, and I have a dog named Cheese with me today. So it's never a dull day.
Never a dull day.
In the life of rescue.
Well, let's clarify that you were peed on by a dog.
A puppy, yes.
Okay.
Not a human.
One of the many little guys that you have.
Yes, and it was so adorable, so I couldn't.
So you're holding the puppy, and the puppy's like comfortable, and
yeah, I was sleeping. Oops.
Now the dog that got away though was named
Nacho Libre.
And why is it named Nacho Libre?
You know, it's a Chihuahua, so it's a natural fit for a Chihuahua. He just wanted to take a run this morning, so
outside
we got him.
The premises.
You know, he was in a contained area, so that was good. But we got him within like 5 minutes or so. But never a dull day.
Well, last week we previewed some of the gifts for the pet owner in your life, and one of those gifts that Abby previewed was a DNA test. So she brought in Cheese, and what do we know about Cheese?
We know that Cheese is a mixed breed, and we are not sure what. And we have a team of people who do this for a living, y'all. And it is hard.
So they looked at Cheese and they're like, well, we're not really sure.
We have no clue. So we DNA tested Cheese. We thought it would be fun to bring it on the air. And
we do have some footage of you and our producer, Paige Dillard, swabbing Cheese. Now, what's the process? How does the test actually work?
So the test works like this. You basically have to swab for about 10 minutes.
We're looking at the footage right there.
Yeah. So Cheese wasn't feeling the test this morning, but you basically swab. It's painless for about 10 minutes or 10 seconds.
Painless for you.
Yeah. And then you send it off to the lab. You let it dry for about 10 minutes, and then they have a prepackaged label that you can ship it off. And then in a few weeks, you get back a beautiful graphic of all the breeds that your dog may be. And it kind of explains a little bit about your dog.
So for $70, you can swab, and it's actually 2 swabs. We're looking at swab number 2 right there. Package it up, mail it off, and then you'll get an email with a complete digital breakdown of what they think.
Something you can share on social media.
So any thoughts on what Cheese might be?
You know, I'm going to guess that
besides a dog that sheds a lot.
Might be an Airedale and a Border Collie maybe, or a Australian Shepherd. But your guess is as good as mine. So
well, I would not be a good person to guess at all on that. That said, she's an awfully happy dog.
She is. And the reason why we named her Cheese is because whenever she is nervous or happy or overly happy, she actually smiles. So right now she's feeling pretty good.
Well, and you can see from the swab test, and look at that. Aww, look at the teeth.
Adorable.
She's just cheesing for the camera. Well, speaking of cheese, you may or may not have cheese on your table tomorrow for Thanksgiving. We're going to go down a list of things you should avoid feeding the little dogs and cats in your life. And let's start with the dogs and turkey.
Yeah, so turkey, white meat turkey is okay in small amounts. Now, I want to preface this by saying it's just best to stick with dog and cat food. But if you have one of those crazy uncles that likes to feed the dog or the cat under the table, or maybe kids in your life that think that the animals need to have Thanksgiving food as well, you know, just keep an eye out for this stuff. Turkey skin, not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
Turkey meat in small amounts, okay.
And the turkey skin, because that's harder for them to digest?
Absolutely. It's too fatty, and it can actually lead to some stomach problems.
And the bones.
The bones. Now, this is very important. Dogs and cats alike, no bones. The bones can break up, they can choke.
Get lodged.
Yes, it's just a bad idea to feed a dog a bone, even though that's kind of what we know dogs to eat, right?
Well, that's true, and I guess you want to hide those, dispose of them, so that dogs don't go sniffing around and
yes.
discover them.
You never want your dog to jump up on the counter and grab the whole turkey down off. So.
That's just a bad idea in general.
It is.
That could be you, Cheese. I see the look in your eye. Let's move on to the vegetables, onions and garlic.
Okay, anything with onions and garlic, avoid it at all costs. This is actually toxic to dogs and can lead to anemia. So even onion powder, garlic powder, just a bad idea altogether.
Wow, okay. What about nuts?
Nuts. So walnuts and macadamia nuts, a bad idea as well. They have a toxic effect on dogs and can make them really sick.
You mentioned spices. What about nutmeg?
Nutmeg, avoid it.
Yeah.
So the pumpkin pie, avoid it.
What about pumpkin pie? No, just a bad idea.
Yeah, just a bad idea in general. But
sage and things like that.
Yeah, sage, bad idea as well. But on pumpkin pie, pumpkin is actually really good for dog stomachs.
So like raw pumpkin.
Raw pumpkin, like the kind in the can without the actual pie portions or things that you mix into the pie. It's perfectly fine for dogs.
So before you spice up your pumpkin pie,
it's okay to give them a spoon.
I don't know why your dog would actually want pumpkin, but
it
that would be
helps
okay.
their stomach.
But okay, it's good for digestive.
Yeah, if your dog actually has a stomach ache, it's a good thing to give them.
Well, speaking of pies, what about the dough and the batter?
Avoid it.
Yep.
So the raw eggs, there's a chance that, it's not good for dogs. And so we want to avoid that as well. The yeast is the bad part. It's just bad for their digestive tract. It'll cause stomach aches and bloating, and it's just a bad idea.
Speaking of the crazy uncle, he may drink. And it seems to me that it's pretty obvious you probably shouldn't feed the little guys alcohol, but
yes,
you really shouldn't feed them.
There's always a person at a party that wants to give an animal alcohol for some reason. It is absolutely a terrible idea to do so. Dogs do not digest alcohol the same way humans do, and so avoid it. If you see it happening, stop it.
All right, moving over to the cat side of the fence. Again, let's start with the turkey. How's that for the
So it's
kitties?
okay to feed them a little bit of turkey, but it's not okay to feed them the skin, just like dogs.
Just like the dogs, it's bad for the digestive system.
That's
and
right.
I'm assuming no bones as well.
No bones, just like dogs. It's just a choking hazard. It's not good for their little tummies. Bad idea.
Vegetables?
Vegetables.
The onions that we mentioned for the dogs, and maybe the mashed potatoes.
Anything with onion powder and garlic powder, again, or whole onions and whole garlic, bad idea for all animals. It's toxic. But as far as mashed potatoes go, it's okay to give them a little bit, but do it, with little butter, little salt, the additives in there. Again, cat food's probably the best, but if you must, a spoonful of mashed potatoes will not harm them.
And the spices and the dough and the batter, stuff like that.
That's right. So the dough and the batter, salmonella, that kind of goes with humans as well. I mean, you don't really want to be eating spoonfuls of dough. So avoid that for your pets as well.
And finally, the desserts, the pumpkin. What about pumpkin for cats?
Pumpkin for cats is okay in raw form, but once you put it in the pie with all the additives in it, not a good idea to feed them.
All right, very good. What are your Thanksgiving plans? You sticking around town? Family coming in?
I will be in Oklahoma City for Thanksgiving for the first time in a long time, so my family's coming into town.
Colorado girl, right?
Yes.
So you're typically maybe in the mountains or?
Yes, we usually spend it in snow-covered mountains, but this year
we may have a
we're
little bit of snow
doing
here.
it
You
on the
never know.
plains. Yeah, ice. Ice and snow.
That's Oklahoma for you. It's all extreme. Abby, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for bringing in cheese. Thanks for showing us the DNA testing kit. And we'll actually get these results back in about, 6 weeks?
I'm going to guess about 6 weeks. You can never tell depending on how busy the company is, but it's usually 5 to 6 weeks.
It'll be interesting. Now, we should say one thing about cheese. She is actually not on the market yet, so to speak, right?
No, she is not available yet, but she will be soon. So if you want to check out our website, okhumane.org, we keep all of our available dogs listed at all times. So keep an eye out if you're interested in cheese.
What might be a good situation for cheese?
Cheese is a medium energy dog, so she's going to need a medium energy house. So if you have kids who love to play, or your house is just kind of a buzz all the time, cheese would be a perfect fit for that kind of environment.
She seems like she wants to explore. Paige was walking her around the newsroom earlier.
Yeah, she's pretty curious and very friendly.
All right, very good. Cheese, nice to meet you. Thanks for playing along with us. Thanks for cheesing for the camera, so to speak, for the DNA test.
Good job, Cheese.
Abby, thanks so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, another rescue rundown next Wednesday.